Trend online, especially with young people, maybe young people watching, or maybe your son, daughter doing this. They're following something on social media, looking at the UV index, and whenever it is really high, that's when they're going outside to tan. It is a big no-no. So we have got PA John Schaff here with Stockton Dermatology. Good morning, good to see you.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
So our UV index right now, what is it?
Right now, we just recently checked, is actually a 3.
Okay, so that's a pretty moderate level, but what can it get during the hot days? I mean, especially with our first alert days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, when temperatures are above 110.
Right, so currently it's a 3, so 1 to 2 generally safe, 3 to 5 is moderate. You want to start wearing your SPF and being smart in the sun. 6 to 8 is really wearing SPF and avoiding sun during the high peak hours, usually 10 to 2, and then anything 8 and above. So 11 is generally considered the highest UV rating. It is a actual measurable thing, so in some places you can see UV indexes of 12, 13, 14, but generally it'll just say 11 plus.
So apparently there's this new trend. There's always a trend online, right? Where some people looking and they're like, oh, it's a 10, it's an 11, I'm gonna go outside. That is a big no-no. What is your message to people out there who want to tan and do that?
Absolutely, so huge no, a huge trend I'm actually seeing, one online, but two in my office right now, is people saying, oh my gosh, UV index is 9, 10, I'm gonna go out tanning, or they're asking their parents to stay home from school because it's a good tanning day because they're gonna go burn because they think that spending their time when it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're not gonna get any tans, not worth their time, and they're gonna have those cute little tan lines.
So that's a big no-no.
I mean,
that's really unhealthy for your skin. What are some alternatives?
Yeah.
I mean, I've spray tanned for years. There are other ways to get around it, even if you're very pale like myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first thing I want to say real quick, though, is that, you know, they're getting tan, they think it's cute right now, and that's great. But in 10, 15, 20 years, when their youth is evading them, they're going to be chasing it with thousands of dollars for search of lasers and creams and treatment, try to reverse that. Wish they could go back and tell their past selves to just wear sunscreen. So with that being said, either own it and be tan and leathery when you're old, or you don't want that. No one wants that. They say they don't care, but they really do. So what are the alternatives? Wear your sunscreen, wear your self-tanners, your bronzers. They're not the ones from the 80s and 90s that leave you looking like a street candy cane. You know, they go on nice.
I've used those before. Right? Some of them were bad back
Absolutely.
in the day.
Or then they drip, or you get a tear. So that the spray tans are even better. They're really good. The self-tanners are amazing. They have bronzers, they got shimmers, they got all the different fun things that you can use. And they're all reasonably priced. So I think they're really good alternatives.
Good options at the drugstore. You also have just like good old sunscreen, because hey, it's okay to embrace your paleness. What do you like to put on as far as sunscreen, and what's the SPF?
Absolutely, nothing wrong with getting a little sun. We all need a little sun, makes you feel good, etc. But it's about being smart. So sunscreen, I always tell my patients, something is better than nothing. 30 or higher, and reapplying. If I had to go to the store and pick, I'm going to pick a mineral base like a zinc oxide or titanium dioxide over the chemical. But again, something's better than nothing, because there's nothing worse than me cutting out huge melanomas in young people. Yeah. And those things can kill you.
Do you find that cases have increased over the years? Oh,
absolutely, significant increase. It tends to seemingly come in waves, everything comes in waves, but I've been getting every year, when I look at my metrics and numbers, I'm seeing more and more melanomas, younger and younger.
Oh, so scary and so dangerous and so preventable. Before we go, how many times should we be reapplying? Because sometimes you do it at 5 or 6 a.m. and then you're like, oh, I'm good for the day.
Good point. So absolutely, so reapplying every 2 hours. The one thing I did not bring, so if people, like women, want to put on their makeup and they're like, oh, I'm good for the day. No, you got to reapply. Well, how are you supposed to reapply? There's actually powdered sunscreens that look like a blush brush that are meant to go on over your makeup. You can dust over, reapply back of the hands when you're driving, hit that scalp part without messing up anything. And so reapplying every 2 hours is key.
Okay, ladies, we need to all pick that up at the drugstore. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you for having me.
Stockton Dermatology. We appreciate it. Some great tips for all of us. We know this time of the year always comes, but we want to keep that skin prepared. We don't want to be in the dermatologist 10, 20 years from now getting everything removed. And obviously, just want to stay safe out there.
Absolutely.